What's up, guys?
Hey,
Hey.
has it been a while?
And listen, welcome to episode 55 of the Nothing But Controversy podcast. Yes, a couple of us have gotten haircuts, including Liam there with that fresh beard shave, looking
sir.
absolutely clean.
Episode 54 is locked in the archives apparently forever.
Yeah,
Save that
do
one
some
for a rainy day.
unforeseen.
Throwback.
Maybe we'll post it eventually. So just give you an extra little NBC content. But yeah, we kind of broke down a bunch of the playoffs last week. I guess we're gonna do that again. If you looked at if you don't follow us on Instagram, go do that now because you didn't really need to listen to episode 54 to know who we picked. And all of us did pretty okay, and one of us did perfect.
Who?
So
Tell us who.
Dawson. Dawson, Liam shaved his beard. Dawson's growing it out.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I guess the more hair you have on your face, the smarter you are when it comes to picks.
My playoff beard, baby. I have no team in a playoff race right now, but I'm growing out a playoff beard.
That's why I cut it, bro. The Pats got bounced.
Absolutely.
I was like, fuck it.
It's true, eh?
Now Matt automatically has to take the Leafs when we predict the NHL playoffs because Matt's in love with teams that always choke. He's gonna pick them anyways.
Unfortunately, the Cowboys did me wrong. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is about the Cowboys. I don't know what it is about the Leafs.
They can't win.
It's the Cowboys.
It's
And they're just the Maple Leafs.
it's the weirdest thing. We know that these teams are good. Like the Cowboys are good right now. They're good. Toronto is looking fantastic as they did last year, and they had a colossal collapse against the Montreal Canadiens teams that had no business being in that series. Anyways, that's for another time. But speaking of the Cowboys, speaking of the NFL, we're 26 days away from the Super Bowl. That's the only time you're ever going to hear the Cowboys and the Super Bowl in the same sentence, probably.
Oh.
But, yeah, I mean, that being said, let's head into our first topic. And we're just going to go straight into our playoff picks for the divisional round. Last week was Super Wildcard weekend. Kind of was a dud. I was
going to say, kind of sucked.
It did.
It really did.
Like, all of us went 5-1 and Dawson went 6-0. That kind of tells you something about it.
We're fucking good.
It's not even that we're good. It's just that it was obvious.
Yeah. No, for sure. I don't know.
The only good game was only good in the fourth quarter, or the closest game, I should say.
Yeah.
Nothing else really had you on the edge. Like Raiders Bengals was alright, but it wasn't really ever like dangerous until the end of the game.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it is what it is. Listen, I'm not gonna say what the public has picked because we only posted our polls today. So that'll be we'll post that on our Instagram story later on this week.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll start off with the first game. That's going to be Saturday at 4:30, where we see the fourth place Bengals go to Tennessee to take on the rested Tennessee Titans and as the 1 seed. Like last week, we'll just give our game picks. Last week we gave our Super Bowl matchup, so who's going to win each conference and our Super Bowl champion. And it's safe to say, I'm glad to say that all 5 of us still have a chance at being perfect there. Obviously, something's got to give this week because a couple of the teams that a bunch of us predicted are going up against each other, so they could be eliminated. But there's only one person here that took the Titans to go to the Super Bowl, and that's Shaner. So maybe you should go first on this one and tell me what you think about these guys.
I'm not gonna bet against them because that would be just stupid. But the Bengals got their win. Joey B's got that first playoff win out of the way. But that's about as far as he's going this year. The Bengals team is still too young to me to go to a conference championship game. So Titans getting Derrick Henry back. That offense should be back. That offense getting going. Ryan Tannehill, they've been here before. This whole team's been here before. Even the addition of Julio on offense has been to a Super Bowl. So I think they're going to go back. I think it's going to be a close game. I'll give the Bengals the benefit of the doubt because that offense is as explosive as it comes with a young head coach in Zach Taylor and all the weapons on the outside. And the Titans defense is not good. It's going to be hard to. I don't know who's even going to cover Jamar Chase. And then once they do figure that out, I don't know who's going to cover T. Higgins. So it should be a shootout in my opinion. But Derrick Henry, that ability to bleed the clock with Derrick Henry is what's going to set it apart. So obviously the Titans for me are going to move on to the conference championship game.
Yeah, and listen, I'll go now. Personally, when I heard Dawson say all throughout the year that the Titans are kind of frauds, they're a fraud 1 seed, I was kind of on the fence, but I'm starting to think that Shaner might be onto something here with this Titans team. Like, I'm looking back at their season. They had a couple weird games, like that loss to Tennessee, like not Tennessee to Houston, sorry. But like, you're looking at this team beat a lot of good teams down the stretch, and they were unhealthy for a long time this season. They're getting healthy at the right time. They're getting the best running back in the league back. And they're playing good football. So it's nothing against the Bengals, because I really thought that they looked pretty okay against a Raiders team that keeps every game close. But listen, the Titans going to the Super Bowl now doesn't look too terrible, because they're going to get a Bills or a Chiefs team, assuming that the Bills and Chiefs game ends up being a freaking grind affair that these teams are just going to be beating up on each other. Assuming the Titans can get through the Bengals without having too many problems, like, they're going to be at home. That's a big factor in a conference championship game. Obviously, this is foreshadowing. This is assuming – I'm going to pick the Titans, with that being said. I do agree, though. I don't think it's going to be a blowout whatsoever, but I also think that the Titans are a better team than the Bengals. The Bengals will get that experience. It's going to be good for them in the future.
I think they're better coached too. I think Vrabel's going to have those guys more ready to go. Nothing against Zach Taylor, but like I said, just the difference of being there in a playoff game in the atmosphere that Zach Taylor has only done once.
And I agree.
And not on the road. He did it at home.
And another sub story here, just to add in, it's the two top guys for Coach of the Year right now going against each other. So I'm excited for that too. It's gonna be fun.
I'm rocking with Joe Shiesty, Joe Burrow, the man, Joe Burrow.
Bro, you'll never get Dawson to bet on Tennessee.
Nope.
Not a chance.
The Tennessee Titans are the Arizona Cardinals of the AFC. Okay? Speaking of the Arizona Cardinals.
I believe that was the Patriots.
Hmm?
I believe that was the Patriots after this weekend.
No, I don't know, man. Speaking of the Cardinals, Titans lost to the Cardinals by a 25-piece in week 1 with everyone healthy. They lost to the Jets. They lost to the
Julio
Jags.
and AB, though. Without Julio and AB.
I don't really care. Like, I've said it all year. Like Shane said, like, that defense is not good. It's not a good defense. Derrick Henry is back. Absolutely. Derrick Henry is the most dominant running back in the NFL. Absolutely. But they weren't without a run game. I've said this the last 3 weeks. They weren't without a run game when Derrick Henry was out. It's not like they ran for 40 yards a game. They had a run game going. Obviously, nothing like it would be with Derrick Henry. Okay? But I just love the momentum the Bengals are riding. Titans aren't a team that are built for bye weeks. Okay? They need to ride that momentum. They need to, like the Bengals rolling in with that momentum from that wildcard win, first wildcard win, who knows how long, Joe Burrow's first career playoff win, it's going to play a huge advantage. Okay? It's not like the Titans are filled with experienced vet guys that have been this deep in the playoffs before and, know how to use a bye week to their advantage. So I'm rolling with the Bengals. I got the Bengals. I don't have a score. I think, like Shane said, it will be a shootout, but I just have, the Bengals coming out on top in this one.
Yeah, I really like the Bengals too. Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty, he's doing his thing. But it's still the Titans. They're still the AFC champs. They're getting Derrick Henry back. They have potentially the Coach of the Year here. I think they're just better. They're just the better playoff team, in my opinion. They have all the weapons on offense that you could possibly need. So do the Bengals, though. So I think it's really going to come down to just, obviously it's super cliche, but who gets the most stops and who has the ball most of the game. But with that being said, I can definitely see that being the Titans. So I think they're a lock to win at home, to be honest.
Yeah, Tennessee's going to be rocking this weekend. That's their atmosphere. That team's been in the playoffs the last 3 years, so their fan base knows what it takes to be loud and cause problems. And a young quarterback like Joe Burrow, just going back to what Shane said, it's a lot of inexperience on the Bengals side, right up to the head coach. So I like them as a team. I like the run they've had. They've had a great season. They're going to be dangerous for the next 10 years probably, but this year I don't like them. Also, a couple of key injuries. Trey Hendrickson never came back in the game. I'm sure he'll be back. The NFL doesn't really care about concussions, but Larry Ogunjobi, right in the middle of that D line, he got put on the IR. He went down in the fourth quarter, didn't come back. He's done for the year now. They're thin on the interior of the D line, like Matt said. Derrick Henry's back. He's rested. It might get ugly quick. I think Tennessee will hold the ball for a long time. Like, yeah, it might get ugly. I don't know if it will. I think it still could be close, but I like Tennessee for sure this weekend.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Like, to me, the Bengals, I thought they looked great in the first half against the Raiders. In the second half, I thought they looked very, like, below par. And I think if they play a game like that again against the Titans, it's just not going to work out for them. You could get away with it against a team that's a little bit above average like the Raiders. But I don't think you can get away with it against a team like the Titans. So,
no, but Joe Mixon never got it going. I thought he would need to get it going for them to win. They proved me wrong there. But this weekend, like if they have no run game, Tennessee's going to be – their front seven's really good. Their secondary is a little bit weak. You have Kevin Byard on the back end who's going to help a lot with communication. But if their front seven is just teeing off on Joey B, I don't like their chances.
They can't find a way to stop Harold Landry. It's going to be a long day for Joe Burrow throwing the football.
Joe Burrow.
And listen, we got our only undefeated kid going lone wolfing with the Bengals this week. And
there's anything.
I swear to God, if that wins, I'm never fading Dawson again.
Hey, listen, if there's anything that last week taught us, it's that you don't go with the lone wolf. You go with the majority. All the majorities won last week, including the 3 games that were unanimous. So, hey, we didn't get turned into memes. All 3 games that we bet unanimously worked out quite well for us. So I don't know if there's going to be another unanimous, maybe the next game here. But listen, next game we got the game after that, Saturday at 8:15. And we have the San Francisco 49ers visiting Lambeau Field to play against the Green Bay Packers and the NFC 1 seed. Listen, you're going to see on the graphic that I already took the Green Bay Packers to win the NFC, so I'm not going to fade that. That being said, I think the only away team from the first round that had a chance at taking down the Green Bay Packers won, which would be the 49ers. I think if the 49ers want to have a chance at winning, they got to run the ball incredibly well, and they have to get a lot of pressure onto Aaron Rodgers. That being said, I do think that the Packers are probably the most unstoppable team in the NFC. So I'm going to take them to win. I think the spread's at -5.5. I don't know about it. If I was betting right now, I think I would take 5.5 with the Packers, maybe to win by a touchdown. But this is not taking anything away from the Niners. I just think that even though the Niners did win against the Cowboys, I think the Cowboys really shot themselves in the foot. I think that the Cowboys actually had no business being in that game for how poorly they played, and they ended up making that a 1-score game, and it came down to a ref running into Dak Prescott, which ended the game. But yeah, give me the Packers. I think they roll through the 49ers. The 49ers have to go play in the cold when they're used to playing in nice and sunny California. So we'll see.
Yeah, this game isn't close for me. I think, everyone's high on the 49ers now because they were the one away team to win this weekend and beat the Cowboys. But I think they just matched up with the Cowboys so well, and they played a team that is literally cursed when it comes to playoffs. But I don't think they get even half the – I don't even know how to say it, but they don't play half as well or look half as good as they did against the Cowboys, against the Packers. I would take 5.5 and run with it right now to bet on the Packers. I don't love the matchup. I think Aaron Rodgers, I guess we say this every year, but Aaron Rodgers this year more than ever seems like a man on an absolute mission. So I am not getting in his way right now. I'm taking the Packers in this game. As we know on the graphic, I have Packers as my Super Bowl champion, and I'm sticking with that.
Yeah, I on the other hand could see this being a really close game. I'm gonna give the Packers the edge at home, but the Niners, I don't know. I love what they can do. I hate how tough they can be to match up like against, obviously you have Debo, you have Brandon Ayuk who's finally, doing something. Elijah Mitchell looks unstoppable. Like their run game looks great. So it's going to be another game where I think it's going to have to come down to stops. And obviously there's a lot of
forgot to mention this though, but if Bosa and Warner are out for the Niners, huge.
Yeah, Warner said he should play.
I thought, first of all, I thought Fred Warner tore his fucking
I thought he was done.
ligament in his knee, the way he was acting on the field. And then next drive, they're like, all right, Warner's standing on the 29-yard line, ready to go in the, like.
Yeah.
But anyways.
But yeah, I'm hearing he's going to be good to go, but, how ready is he actually going to be? Nonetheless, though, I think it's still going to be a close game. And I was almost going to take the +6. I almost took it at +6 this morning. I was almost going to put money on it, but I didn't. Regardless, should be close, but the Packers are going to hang on at home.
Yeah, again, I picked the Packers to go to the Super Bowl too, so can't fade away from that now. But I think I don't know where this game is going to go. There's a lot of variables here. Jimmy G has to play like top of his game if the Niners are going to be in this. These two teams played in week 3. And the Niners went up 28-27 with like 30 seconds to go, which is obviously too much time for Aaron Rodgers, but they proved they can play close. Trey Sermon was also their lead back in that game. So a lot has changed for the Niners since then. A lot has changed for the Packers too. One thing I like about this Packers team though versus previous years, and maybe not last year, but A.J. Dillon is a huge X factor in these types of games where it's cold, it's late in the season. He's fresh because he doesn't get that many touches during the year. So I like the Packers here, but give me a close game because, like you said, LBS, Ayuk, Debo, Elijah Mitchell, they're playing good football right now. That O-line's scary. So yeah. I like the Niners to put up some points here, definitely.
I'm gonna do it.
Oh.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. It's happening. I'm going Niners. And maybe this is to save you guys from being a meme. Who knows? But I don't know. I just something about that run game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way the Packers defense just hasn't been able to stop it in recent years. It just makes me think that it's gonna happen again. And I know it's hard to bet on against Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau, but like I don't know. Look, Jimmy G. If they have to throw the ball, they're not winning this game. If they get down like 14 or early or 14 or more early, it's over. The game's over because Jimmy G's not winning this game by throwing the ball. But if they come out and they establish the run game and they stick to that game plan, which Kyle Shanahan has always been good until he has to get to the Super Bowl and play call well. So I think he's going to play call well. I think that the Packers defense is just not going to hold up. And the Niners are going to win a really close one that they probably should not win. So I'm going with the Niners. It's very bold, but Dawson's not happy right now.
No,
I'm going Niners.
Speaking of bold, if this game happens the way Shane just says it plays out, and the 49ers are up on the Packers late in the 4th, my bold prediction of the week is that Aaron Rodgers is going to pull an Antonio Brown, retire mid-game, take off his jersey, take off his equipment, and leave Lambeau. That's my bold prediction if they lose this game.
I just want to say for everyone, because you guys didn't get to hear episode 54, but the last time that Shane had a feeling, he did pick the Eagles to beat the Bucs.
But I did say that the Niners could go on a run. I did say that. So I'm going to back it, and here we are. Let's see what happens.
Let's see it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if they do get past the Packers, I mean, look out, right? Because they're either going to LA or they're going to Tampa
Yeah.
Bay, which is foreshadowing to our next game, which is Sunday at 3, and we got the Rams going to the Bucks. Listen, to me, like this 2 Sunday games they're going to be awesome. Like, let me tell you,
They're either going to be so good or so bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, like the way the Rams played yesterday, that's like the team I was expecting at the start of the year. Like lethal on offense in the first half. Lethal. And their defense was phenomenal. Dude, like I was talking about it with my buddy yesterday. Talking about how Aaron Donald, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear this, but how Aaron Donald should be the defensive player of the year every single year, even over TJ Watt this year. No one in the NFL gets double, triple teamed like Aaron Donald does, and like still has the efficiency. We've never seen anyone like Aaron Donald. We will never. I'm not gonna say we never will, but right now we just have to appreciate it. I honestly think that TJ Watt's gonna win it, but if Aaron Donald won it again, people would go into an outrage. I would not.
I think it's pretty hard to bet against the guy who just tied the sack record and won last game.
Yeah. But but taking everything into account is what I'm saying, right? With all the pressures, with all the double teams and whatnot. But with that being said, I hate betting against Tom Brady because I always lose. But I'm still gonna do it. I'm taking the Rams. Listen, if they play like they did against the Cardinals, I thought the Cardinals were frauds too, like Dawson said. But they weren't 38-11 frauds to me. The Rams beat up the Cardinals, and I don't know. I think that Rams could do it to the Bucks and end Tom Brady's reign as Super Bowl champ.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right with Matt on this one. Entering the playoffs, I was concerned with the Bucks injuries, and no offense, Cam, I don't think we got to see a Bucks team working at full force against the Eagles, so it's really tough to say what that team looks like. And if Tristan Wirfs is out, that is a game changer of all game changers. That is a huge thing for the Bucks. So I'm going to go under the assumption he's out in my pick. I know they're saying he'll be like a game time decision, maybe Friday, Saturday that they'll make that decision. I don't know if he'll play, but I have the Rams in this game either way. I think they're the healthier team. I think they are going to ride a shit ton of momentum after that Arizona game, come into Tampa and, take down Brady like Matt said. But betting against Brady has never, ever, ever worked out for me. So I would not be surprised if it doesn't this time.
Yeah, listen, I feel like this game could go either way, but I like the Bucks again at home. I feel like the Cards just played awful. I didn't think that the Rams were looking. I mean, obviously they look great, but I don't know. It just felt like more the Cardinals were playing bad than the Rams were playing really good. Kyler had a lot of suspect throws in the entire. I don't know what was going on.
He was panicking.
It was just weird. Like you guys said that the Cards are frauds. They absolutely looked like frauds on Sunday.
Yeah,
in my opinion. So I think the Bucks are going to be comfortable. They're going to be at home. They're going to do their thing. It's Tom Brady. It's the playoffs. I'm riding with the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm gonna piggyback with you, LBS. I'm taking the Bucks here. It is Tom Brady. At the end of the day, it is Tom Brady. I think Wirfs will play, even if it's just the first half or whatever he's able to give. I think he'll play, no doubt. He came out the series after he was hurt, which looked like a pretty gruesome injury. I do agree with you, Dawson. The Bucks didn't, like I said, they got out to an early lead, and then the Eagles, there was no threat. So the Bucks kind of let off the gas and coasted the rest of the way. Fournette's going to be back this week for sure. There's no way he's missing 2 playoff games. So that'll be big for them. What's that?
Playoff Lenny.
That's it.
Yeah, no kidding. Last night, OBJ was able to exploit Marco Wilson, who's a rookie on the outside in Arizona. Love that kid. Yeah, we see Shane shaking his head because of what happened last year against LSU. But listen,
it's all about him and playoffs, and he just can't do it.
Is Marco Wilson a Florida boy?
Marco Wilson's the guy who
he's the guy who threw the shoe.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But he's a rookie, and OBJ was working on him pretty much all night. So he's not going to get
so
that.
happy to see that.
He's not going to get that treatment again this week. He's either going to have Sean Murphy-Bunting or Carlton Davis, both proven guys. They'll lock you down in the playoffs. They did it all last year. So I think it's going to be a little bit more tough sledding for Matt Stafford. That Bucs D is pretty healthy now. They're going to cause a turnover, at least one. That's where I'm leaning for X Factor this week. It's going to be who can stay clean. And the Rams have messed Brady up the last 2 times they played in the regular season, this year and last year. Both times got him good. So we'll see what happens. But I'm going Bucs here. I like Tom Brady. I'll never bet against him. And I do want to see the NFC Championship rematch.
For obvious reasons, I'm going to take the Rams. I had them winning the Super Bowl. I'm going to take them here. I've never been more scared, though, to predict someone to beat Brady. I'm freaking out. I don't know if it's going to be done. Listen, Todd Bowles' defense it's one of those defenses in your face, and he's going to be aggressive. And if that comes back to bite him in the ass, then you know what? That's the way he wants to go out. So I think the Rams, McVay's one of those guys that you want to have on your side that's putting a game plan together when you're playing a defense like that. They're going to use Cooper Kupp a lot in those motions and those short routes under the linebackers and run a lot of screens. I think we saw a little bit of explosiveness last night. Was it last night? Yeah, last night. Late in the game from Cam Akers. They're going to have to rely heavily on Cam Akers and Sony Michel. And that's tough to do against a Bucs defense whose run defense is probably the strength. So they're going to have to kill the clock and hope that Tom Brady doesn't get the ball with 2 minutes left and 2 timeouts, because he's going to put you in a body bag, and that's going to be at the end of your season. So, basically just run the ball and run those screens, and I think they'll be okay. But the more chances you give Brady, the more chances he has to put up 80 points on your defense.
Yeah, and it's exciting for the Rams offense too, because not to say he was a non-factor, but Cooper Kupp had 5 catches, 60 yards.
He wasn't big in the game plan.
No, so if he can get going fully in that game against the Bucs, I'm super excited to watch again. That's probably
I want to see them kind of use more than they used last night is Van Jefferson.
Yeah,
he really had that one big gain, and that was pretty much all we heard from him. But in a game like Cam said, where the 2 outside corners are lockdown guys, you're going to have to start using your other receivers. And Van Jefferson has proven time and time again in a clutch situation that he could show up if he needs to. So get the Florida boy some love.
Yeah. I feel like Van Jefferson, he'll just have a game where he just goes up the seam and scores 2 80-yard touchdowns up the seam he just has 2 games like that a year.
Well, I'm hoping that will be on Sunday.
Hey,
I'm looking at the stats from last time they played. Deshaun Jackson was still a Ram, and he had 3 catches, 120 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp was also a big factor. 9 catches, 96 yards, 2 tutties. So the Bucs better be sharp on defense. That's all I gotta say, because it was 34-24 last time. Stafford threw for 350. Brady threw for 400. So I was wrong about the Rams defense getting the best of them, but it's going to be a crazy
there's something
game.
about playoffs that you just seem to tighten up on defense, and that's why they say defense wins championships. It's as much as it's hard to bet against Tom Brady, it's also hard to bet against Aaron Donald, Von Miller, and Jalen Ramsey.
That's what I was thinking. So I have 2 extra things to say about this. One is, maybe this is super controversial, but even though Brady had such a great year, I also find that the Bucs offense at times was really suspect, if that makes sense. Especially in a game where when they played elite defenses this year, they didn't have that great time. They got shut out by the Saints, which is an elite defense. I'll give them that. The Saints are a fantastic defense. They got shut out. For some reason, the Saints are Brady's kryptonite right now. He's lost 4 out of 5 games, the only one coming in the playoffs. But I don't know. It's been weird. And I think that the Rams defense is better than the Saints. I think that it's gonna be very weird. You're gonna see Jalen Ramsey all over Mike Evans. So that right there takes it away. Aaron Donald, if he could get pressure, I don't know, man. When Brady gets pressure in his face and goes down, it's bait. It's bait.
The thing that scares me about the fact that he might not get the pressure is the fact that Jordan Fuller's out, and Jordan Fuller is their guy to lock down tight ends. And Gronk, I don't think Weddle can't cover tight ends, especially not 2 years out of retirement, the way that Jordan Fuller can. So,
and that's
Gronk
what I was gonna say too is Tom Brady's gonna take advantage of those both safeties being out. Whoever the other safety is, I can't think of his name right now. Taylor Rapp, he'll be back. He's back on track to play this weekend, so that'll help. But Tom Brady's gonna take any miscommunication in the back end. He'll take advantage of it. We know he will. He's done it time and time again. So it's gonna be a chess match for sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to come back to Matt's point there about the Bucs looking suspect. You could say the exact same thing about the Rams, dude. Stafford has suspect picks fucking week in and week out all the time. And that could be a difference maker in a playoff game against the Tom Brady and the Bucs, you know? So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a good game.
The last thing I wanted to say about this was just how, like, different coaching is in 2022. Like, we're literally seeing in a playoff game the oldest coach in the league take on a top 3 youngest coach in the league. And literally Tom Brady is 7 years older than Sean McVay. Like, the starting quarterback. Yeah, but anyways, it's nuts. It's really gonna be weird how these two teams go against each other. But I think even though the Rams and Bucs could be the game of the week, I think that everyone's consensus game of the week is got to be this next one, which is Sunday at 6:30.
All right, before you guys go, I'm gonna say this right now. I don't have a team who I think is gonna win, so I'm gonna let you guys go off, and I'm gonna base my pick off of what you guys say. That's how close I think this game is gonna be.
Okay. So we got Buffalo going to Kansas City. A lot of people are saying this is like the de facto AFC championship, which is kind of disrespectful to Tennessee, but whatever. But listen, obviously I'm going to pick the Chiefs because I have them winning the Super Bowl. Not that the Chiefs played bad at all. I thought they looked great against the Steelers. I mean, not that it's hard to look great against the Steelers, but my goodness, am I ever scared about the Bills? Liam said it last week. You guys didn't hear it because we didn't post the episode, but Liam said the Bills are the team you wouldn't want to play against in the playoffs right now. And I think he might be onto something there too. I think they had the first ever perfect game ever recorded, where every single drive that they had
no turnovers.
Every single drive they had ended in a touchdown or their last drive, which was a kneel down.
Yeah. Crazy.
So that's insane. The Bills look fantastic, but with that being said, I don't know what it is, but the reason I took the Packers and the Chiefs to meet in the Super Bowl is because I feel like they are the two teams that have the not the biggest chip on their shoulder, but they have like
the most.
They have something. They're the most the most to prove. Does that make sense? The Chiefs, literally like 3 years ago or 2 years ago, whatever, when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, we were like, wow.
They are going to be here every year for 15 years.
Yeah. Right? And I'm not picking them because of that. I'm picking them because I think that at the start of this year, when they looked suspect as fuck, everyone was like counting them out and stuff, and they like turned it around like they're on a mission to make it. And yes, Aaron Rodgers has been playing with a chip on his shoulder since the start of the year. He's been the MVP, and the Packers are that good. So I don't know, man. I think not that the Chiefs can beat themselves, like they're only going to lose if they beat themselves, because I do think that the Bills are really that good, and I think the Bills beat the Chiefs. They're going to the Super Bowl, but I don't see any team running through the Packers, and I don't see the Chiefs losing. So if the Chiefs can play like they did and play like they can, I still think they're the best team in the NFL. So I'm taking them for that reason. But I'm so excited for this game. My goodness.
Yeah, no, this is by far the game I'm most excited for. Get it out of the way right.
This was the Super Bowl, like
literally. No, literally. Getting it out right away. My prediction: I do have the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, so I am not going to fade that. But this is going to be, I think, the closest game of the weekend. I think it has to be. So the reason I'm going with the Chiefs, first of all, again, the Bills looked outstanding. Nothing that I'm about to say is going to take anything away from the Bills at all and how they looked and how they played. I just like the Chiefs a lot better. And the big thing for me is the Bills are not at home. Okay. The Bills' home field advantage is up there with one of the best in the NFL, if not the best in the NFL. And I think that is a huge factor. Obviously, again, the Chiefs, I don't even know if it's called Arrowhead anymore, but Arrowhead absolutely gets loud. I think it was recorded or has the record for like the loudest stadium of all time at one point, or had the record.
It was right before Seattle.
Yeah, so I think the home field advantage is going to be huge for the Chiefs. And like Matt said, I just think Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, because they started out like that, they have, more pressure on them, more, they want to fight back because people did count them out at the beginning of the year. I counted them out. Liam got on them for their shit defense. Like everyone counted them out.
Liam gave it to them, bro.
Dude,
Absolutely.
They were so fucking bad, dude.
Awful, yeah. But one thing that I love in this game, and I've loved him for years and years, is Jerick McKinnon.
Frank Clark
too, but Jet McKinnon looked unreal on Saturday. He looked exactly like how the Chiefs wanted CEH to look like when they drafted him. But no, he's going to be an X factor in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought him back next year, just because like how good he looked. If they can get him on, maybe not a veteran's minimum, but close to it, he will absolutely be a Chief next year. I think he looked awesome. He could definitely be an X factor in this game. So I have the Chiefs. I'm excited for this game. I can't wait for this game, but I got the Chiefs going to the AFC Championship to play Joe Shiesty and the Titans.
Joe Shiesty and the Titans.
Yeah, the Bengals. My bad. Oh, I can't believe I said that.
Dawson wants the Titans to be there so bad.
Obviously, I'm riding with the Bills. I said it. That's not a team I would want to face in the playoffs. I said it too. If they beat the Pats, which they did, they're my Super Bowl pick. I just genuinely believe Josh Allen is that good, and he's backed by a legit defense. And I don't want to call this game like a coming out party because we know how good Josh Allen is. But if he can beat the likes of Patrick Mahomes with an offense that, frankly is not that scary without Diggs, should carry a lot of weight in like the best QB debate. And I genuinely believe Josh Allen is up there. And I think he could prove a lot of people, what I'm saying right now with a lights out performance and beating the Chiefs on the road. This would be a huge game just for his legacy, to be completely honest. And I could see it happening. So give me the Bills on the road.
Yeah, frankly, I have no idea what's going to happen in this game. I did take the Bills without thinking bracket-wise who they would have to play and where the game would be. But nonetheless, here we are. So I'm going to ride with the Bills. I love what Josh Allen's doing. He looks like the most confident quarterback in the NFL right now, maybe other than Patrick Mahomes. One thing, though, that stood out to me when they played the Patriots, and obviously there's a lot of good things, but one really good thing for the Bills looking ahead here is Devin Singletary's performance. He hasn't been a dependable running back since he came into the league a few years ago. But he had a really good game against a good Pats defense that was probably looking to shut him down. So I think he'll need to do that again just because of how much better this Chiefs defense has gotten. And if they're just playing the pass all night, Tyrann Mathieu and those guys on the back end are going to have it locked down. But I do like the Bills here. I like their defense a lot. Micah Hyde had a crazy pick. That should not have been an interception. That was next level hands right there. So if they can get a couple more of those this weekend, I like their chances. But in Kansas City, got to be top 3 toughest place to play in the NFL right now. So that's definitely going to be a huge factor. We'll see how the Bills can handle it though.
Shane, have you reached a decision?
I have reached a decision.
Let's hear it.
Well, you guys had it 2-2 here, so I'm the tiebreaker. I'm going Buffalo.
I knew it. Fuck you.
And for the reason that the Chiefs, if you look at their history in playoff games, they have a history of starting out super slow. We saw it on Sunday when they started off super slow against the Steelers, and it was 0-0 going into the second quarter. The Bills aren't a team that you could start slow against. The Bills will come out and they'll have the ball and they'll be 21-0 in a blink of an eye if you start out slow. If you start out giving the ball to Josh Allen as many times as you do. Obviously, we've seen the Chiefs have incredible comebacks like the one in Houston where they were down 24-0 and won like 54-24 or something. But based on what I said last year when we talked about the AFC Championship game and the Bills and the Chiefs, I said that the Bills need to get significantly better to beat the Chiefs. They got significantly better, and the Chiefs did not get better. So that gap is really close right now. And I think this is the year, if there is going to be a year, that the Bills are going to have to take that leap and are going to have to throw that final punch and take over the AFC, or else it's just going to start spiraling and it's going to start getting into their heads that they think they can't do it anymore. So this year they got to come out, they got to go balls to the wall and just start swinging until one of you hits the mat, and pray to God it's not you. So I'm taking Bills.
Bills, balls to the walls. I love it, baby.
If the Bills win the Super Bowl, I'll Bills Mafia a table live on Instagram.
I wonder how many dildos we're gonna see thrown onto the field.
Oh,
Yo, that was
they killed me.
I went straight to Twitter and I was laughing for like half.
Bro,
an hour.
whoever came
so
up with
funny.
dildos, fucking genius, absolute genius.
Me, it was just Kendrick Bourne like scoring, and going to the ref and just seeing that and pointing at it like, what do you want the ref to do? You want him to go pick it up and examine it? Like, come on, man.
Oh man,
Big flag. Who knows?
brutal. All right, man. Bye.
See you later.
The Bills, man.
We lost him.
We got a Matt sighting.
Oh,
And he's back.
There he is.
is.
Hey.
All right.
Speaking of balls to the wall, swing until one of you hits the mat.
Ooh.
It's a good transition because the next UFC event is this Saturday.
Yes,
And
sir.
we got UFC 270, and my goodness, are the two championship fights absolute bangers. We talked about it a couple weeks ago, how this could be a card of the year candidate. Personally, I'm not too invested into all the fights leading up to the championship fights. It's not a lot of fighters that I know because I'm not a huge UFC hardo. I know most of the people, but I'm just going to talk about UFC 270 and the two fights that everyone's going to be talking about. The two championship fights. First is the flyweight championship, which is the number one challenger, Davison Figueiredo, fighting the champion, Brandon Moreno, for the third time. The first time was a majority draw, which saw Figueiredo keep his belt. The second time, Moreno submitted Davison Figueiredo within 2 rounds to win the belt for the first time. If you haven't heard about Brandon Moreno's story, I think you really should, because it's a fantastic story. He started off his UFC career not great, and actually got cut from the UFC, and then he got re-signed, came all the way back and won the belt against Davison Figueiredo, who was ripping through that division, was knocking guys out, submitting guys out within 2 rounds. It was ridiculous. And then they had one card where Figueiredo submitted a guy within like 40 seconds, and Moreno won on that card too. And this is when COVID just started, so they're still like doing Fight Island in Abu Dhabi. So what they did was they kept them, instead of going home, they kept them there. And 3 weeks later, they had another number card, and they fought. And that's when they had the fight of the year, which was at the end of the year, where there was the majority draw, where they went 5 rounds just absolutely mauling at each other. It was an unbelievable fight. The problem is with Figueiredo, though, is that even though this guy's an absolute like savage, a lot of people think that his weight class is not 125, it's actually 135. And they think that the weight cut is killing him. They think that the weight cut is the reason why he lost the belt. And they think that if he loses again, he's probably going to go to 135. In fact, there's a lot of chance that he doesn't even make weight, and another guy is going to have to step in. I forget what the guy's name is, but I think they're flying him out to have a replacement just in case. I mean, they always do that anyways, but Figueiredo has a really hard time making 125. So that's a problem. But if he does make it, you never know what could happen. It could be a fight of the year candidate. But of course, the main event, which is just going to be the craziest fight. It's the heavyweight championship of the world. Francis Ngannou, who's the champ, against Cyril Gane, who's the interim champ. And there is a whole lot of storylines in this fight. So first of all,
Ngannou's coming in as the underdog. Though,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So I guess I didn't mention that. The other fight, Figueiredo's plus 150 underdog. Francis Ngannou's a plus 175 or 125. I don't know which one it is.
Down to 135 now, I'm seeing.
Okay, so 135 underdog. Which to a lot of people who just watch UFC and just watch UFC highlights might be shocking. But so the whole storyline about this is Cyril Gane and Francis Ngannou, they used to be like on the same squad, like same team, and they used to fight at the same gym and stuff like that. And basically Ngannou left, and there's been a whole bunch of beef because of it. And you know, it's just kind of bait. It's not that it's bait. It's just beef when two guys from the same weight class are fighting the same gym, and one guy tries to take the belt. It was like when Gilbert Burns tried to take the belt away from Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman took that personally. Like, they used to be big pals, and then it was like a huge beef. So it's the same thing there. That's one storyline.
I don't know. For me, it's like you expect the guy not to take a title fight. I don't know.
No, it's just either that or you go to a different weight class. But no, for sure. But it's just some people will be like, I'll never fight in this weight class because I don't want to fight this person. Right?
Yes, for sure.
So the other storyline is Francis Ngannou is like a big advocate now for how UFC fighters are getting underpaid, right? So basically, everyone knows Ngannou is the knockout artist. This guy throws one punch and you're slept. It's good night. We've never seen anyone like it in heavyweight, where it was like he would, his last 5 fights are, besides the Stipe fight, are first round knockouts. Like, to me, that's insane. And you saw in the Stipe fight, his last fight, which was it's been a while, he caught Stipe with a jab and slept and put him to the ground. Stipe got up, thought he caught Ngannou, went in for the kill, and Ngannou caught him with a quick left hook and slept him. He was out cold. Like, we've never seen anyone like it. That's why Ngannou is such a fun fighter to watch. But if there's anyone who's going to beat him, it's going to be Cyril Gane. Because Cyril Gane is stylistically probably the most completed fighter ever. He's the best not fighter ever, heavyweight ever. He's the best striker. He's not the most powerful striker. The most powerful striker is Ngannou, but he's the best striker in terms of kicking, elbowing, punching. Is impossible to grapple with. Both of these guys are massive, but if it's going to be a grappling war, Cyril Gane's going to win by a lot. So that's why Cyril Gane is a favorite, because Cyril Gane's undefeated, and he's coming in with a whole lot of chips on his shoulder. But that's why Francis Ngannou is such a storyline, because, like I said before, he's a big advocate for how boxers get paid versus how UFC fighters get paid. And Ngannou's on his last fight with the UFC, and he's basically threatening to leave the UFC and just go start boxing. And he's going to make probably 500 to 600K from this fight, from probably the most intriguing heavyweight matchup of all time. And then next year he's going to go and fight a guy like Tyson Fury, if that ever happens. And he's going to get like $40 million to fight that. Like boxing money and UFC money, it's ridiculous. That's why Jake Paul is a big advocate for it, because Jake Paul made $40 million this year fighting 3 non-boxers. So it is what it is. I'm going to go on a limb here. I'm going to say, bold prediction, both underdogs win. So I'm going to take Figueiredo and Ngannou to win. It is bold. I really want to see Ngannou sleep Cyril Gane, go to his interview and be like, yeah, peace out, UFC. Like, fuck you, basically, you know? But yeah, I'm really excited. But listen, if Moreno and Cyril Gane win, it would not surprise me. But yeah, I don't know if you guys have anything to say about that.
Obviously, boys, everyone knows I don't have much to say about the UFC. I don't follow it. But there was one fight that caught my eye on this card. Greg Hardy is on the main card.
Sir.
Yeah.
He's off it. He pulled out last week. He
Oh,
pulled
he
out
did?
like a couple days ago. Yeah.
I thought he was nasty.
Chill up, bro. They need to
The
take
guy
that shit
kinda has
down.
experience,
I'm
I
pissed.
guess.
I was about to say I might have to tune in illegally, but that's not going to happen.
And okay, I was looking at the card, Matt. Is that Khabib's brother or cousin, or?
I think it's his cousin or bro. It is one of they are related. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so he's fighting on the
Didn't
other
he
side.
train him or something?
Khabib will be in that corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sweet. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
it's gonna be a good card. I want
The last card got me hyped about UFC. The last card I watched, and I've been watching.
That was insane. Yeah. That was the fight.
169 was crazy. So I've been watching ever since.
But
So Brandon Moreno and Figueiredo have been two great fights. I mean, the last one was all right. That was on the Izzy card, right? That was when Adesanya fought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was Moreno won that one pretty. He made it pretty easy for himself, but I think Figueiredo will bounce back this weekend. I mean, I don't have much to say, but I'm looking forward to it for sure.
I don't really care who wins the Moreno Figueiredo fight. I just don't want it to be like another fight like their second one where he gets submitted.
Yeah.
I want them to just brawl. It was so intriguing. Like it was just full on savagery in their first fight. They were literally swinging, like head down, boom. Like if you have to watch, like go on UFC and watch YouTube and like just search up UFC's YouTube account and just go on their free, like they always post free fights and stuff. If you want to get hyped for this event, watch Figueiredo Moreno 1 and watch Francis Ngannou's highlight tape. Basically, literally like his last 5 fights can fit in a 5-minute. Like a 5-minute window. His last 5 fights, besides the Stipe fight, can fit in a 5-minute video because it's literally like 40 seconds, 20 seconds, 50 seconds. Like it's ridiculous. He catches you with one shot, and these guys are out cold. It's insane. But yeah, I'm really excited for that card. But yeah, listen, that's it. That's it for the UFC, and now we're gonna get into some hockey, and big news from Montreal, and I'm gonna let Shaner take it away.
This is where I check out. So have a great week, everyone. Love you all.
Yeah, this morning, Habs came in. They announced Ken Hughes to take over as the GM of the Montreal Canadiens. So, I mean, you know, a sports agent, a guy who's never been in done this job in this business. But I'm seeing a lot of fans already like commenting and stuff, being like, "Oh, another 5 years of mediocrity." Like this guy's ever done something and been somewhere, and like we don't know what he's gonna do. This guy, as an agent right now, currently has negotiated over $290 million in current contracts in the NHL. Guys on that list: Patrice Bergeron, Chris Letang, guys who are loved in Montreal that will never play a game for Montreal, that people have always wanted in Montreal. Then Drake Batherson, who's an up-and-coming star in Ottawa, and Darnell Nurse. If you recall, Darnell Nurse got paid $9.5 million. Not Darnell Nurse, a guy that should not be making anywhere near $9.5 million. Ken Hughes got him $9.5 million. And then 2 other guys, 2 former Habs, Marco Scandella and Nathan Beaulieu, were both his clients. So, listen, I'm interested to see what he's going to do. Like I said, you can't judge him right now. The guy hasn't done anything. He's never been a GM before. So all you stupid non-Habs haters.
All you stupid faces.
Yeah.
All you stupid smelly boys.
Just stop talking about a guy that we've never seen do his job and let him do his job. Give him a couple years before you sit here and say his 5-year contract is a waste of 5 years.
So I guess he has to drop all his clients, right?
Yeah, so essentially I don't know how exactly it works, but I would assume, because he works for an agency, so I would assume they get the option of meeting with other agents in that agency, or they just become free agents and can choose wherever. Because they do, like, players do fire their agents. So even they probably just get that percentage from that year and then go on to a different agent, I guess, but I don't know how it works. That would have been a great question for me and Cam to ask Nick when we had him on the pod. But,
no kidding.
I didn't think this was going to happen.
Very familiar with that agency as well. Cortex, a guy that I used to go to high school with, works for them or like is an intern with them or whatever. So he's like in that building and stuff in Montreal. Seems like a cool atmosphere. They had a lot of good things to say about him leaving. They also have Mete, Sam Bennett, a couple of there's a lot of NHL guys
he's not coming from a small agency. This is a big agency that a lot of GMs know.
I think that's the upside too. Like he's obviously spoken to a lot of GMs around the league because of that. He's familiar with a lot of players. I'm sure there's a lot, like if you're representing that many like high tier players in the NHL, they're definitely saying good things about you. So I think he definitely has a good rep, which is I think a good start for the Habs right now. Working with Jeff Gordon, who like has proven himself in the last 4 or 5 years. So
yeah,
I'm optimistic, definitely.
Yeah, I love it. Like, you know, we got the homegrown guy that everyone wanted. You know, he's got loads of experience in management. I'm seeing online and stuff that this was Gordon's guy from the get-go. So glad they were able to get the guy Gordon wanted to get. And I'm just excited to see what he does, bro. Like this team needs some energy. This team needs to, you know, change the direction it's going in, or figure out the direction it's going in first. So I'm excited we got our guys, and yeah, let's hope for the best, man.
There's been a big connection between him and Gordon. Gordon actually, Ken Hughes has 2 sons, NHL prospects. His first son, Gordon, actually drafted him while he was in New York in 2018. And then his second son, Jack Hughes, is not the real Jack Hughes, unfortunately. Is
the real Jack Hughes?
Oh, it's not.
He's Jack Hughes 2.0. Unfortunately, he's one of those guys that's going to fall, you know, late first, early second this year. So it would be pretty crazy to see his dad draft him in Montreal. And he does play with a couple Habs prospects in Northeastern. He plays with Struble and he plays with Jordan Harris. So, you know, Ken Hughes obviously watches his son play hockey, so he's obviously seen, you know, Jordan Harris is one of the big prospects in Montreal, and we talked about it a couple of weeks ago or last week in our group chat. Is how is he going to convince Jordan Harris to stay? Because Jordan Harris, if he doesn't sign by August 15th, he's free to sign wherever he wants.
Stupid fucking rule, by the way. I hate
terrible rule, but a lot of college hockey players have taken advantage of that. And there's big rumors that Jordan Harris either wants to go to Boston or go to New York. So, you know, maybe Ken Hughes, after seeing him play, could try and convince him to stay. So
hopefully.
How bad would that be if he went to Boston?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, he'd be public enemy number 1 for the next 15 years. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he went to Boston at all.
Yeah.
I would be. I think I would be more surprised if he signed in Montreal than if he signed somewhere else.
Yeah, I think like this gives you the best chance, but like realistically, I'm not too sure. Anyways,
but
what a stupid rule.
I think a meteor just hit our house.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened. But one thing I'm really interested to see is what he does at the trade deadline, because a lot of first-time GMs come in and it's like, oh, I'm scared to make a trade because I don't want the fan base to absolutely blow me up. But you've built that connection with the GM, so you know all the GMs in the NHL. So the conversation should be easier. Montreal's got to start this rebuild now. I can't wait till the summer. They got to work on this in the summer. Guys like Sherratt, you can't just let walk in free agency. You got to trade him. You know, I don't think we have enough time to list off everything that Montreal should do before to the trade deadline. But a lot of it's got to be done at the trade deadline, and you're not going to get the players and picks you want back for rentals, but it's got to be done. Like I said to you guys yesterday, as much as I love Christian Dvorak, as much as I'm happy he's here, when you look back at it now, the Habs need that first-round pick desperately that they sent over from Carolina. So whose team is it? Is it Gordon's team? Is this actually Ken Hughes that's making the trades, or is it Gordon telling him what to do? Because that was a big report that a lot of people dropped out of the race for GM because they thought that Gordon was going to be in his ear all the time. Hey, do this, do this, do this. So I'm interested to see whose team it is.
I actually believe in the two GM or the two-headed system they're promoting. I think it makes sense. Like, why would you not have, you know, two guys? And obviously there's multiple people they discuss with, but I don't know. I believe it. I like it. Let's see what
better than Bergevin.
That's it.
And listen, what Gordon's done already has been small, bringing Cale Clegg and Rem Pitlick off waivers, but those were two moves that needed to be done. Rem Pitlick in Minnesota this year was very good at 5-on-5 scoring and was very good at putting up points per 60 minutes played. So, you know, he's not a big flashy name. He's when all the Habs are healthy and everybody's back, he's at best a third-line player. He's not going to be a guy who you put at first-line left wing and pray to God he scores 80 points for you. It's not who he is. Cale Clegg's the same. He's a third right now. Early in his career, he's a third-pair defenseman who's going to run your second power play unit Not big flashy guys, but I like the way that Gordon's taking it here.
Well, hey, listen. Speaking of building teams, once a year, the NHL fan base gets to build a team.
Terrible.
And this year, the All-Star teams came out.
Terrible.
I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go quickly through the All-Star teams here. Okay. So in the Metropolitan Division, we got Sebastian Aho, Claude Giroux, Jake Gensel, Jack Hughes, Chris Kreider, Alex Ovechkin, Adam Fox, Adam Pelech, Zach Werenski, Frederik Anderson, and Tristan Jarry. Jake Gensel being the last man in, or whatever.
Worst part is he wasn't even voted. It was Zibanejad, and Zibanejad's not going for personal reasons. Interesting.
Then we got the Atlantic Division. We have Drake Batherson, Patrice Bergeron, 2 Kent Hughes guys. Jonathan Huberdeau, Dylan Larkin, Austin Matthews, who is the captain, Steven Stamkos, last man in, Nick Suzuki, Rasmus Dahlin, Victor Hedman, Jack Campbell, and Andre Vasilevskiy.
Nick Suzuki made the All-Star game?
They have to have one guy.
And that's what I can't wait to talk about is that rule.
Oh, man. I'm going to go
for the record, in the Metropolitan Division, Alex Ovechkin was the captain. The Central Division, we have Kyle Connor, Alex DeBrincat, Nazem Kadri, who is the last man in, Kirill Kaprizov, Clayton Keller, Jordan Kyrou, Nathan McKinnon, who was the captain, Joe Pavelski, Cale Makar, who is the only D. Is that true? He's the only D in the Central Division. Interesting.
It's 3v3. It doesn't matter.
It's 3v3. Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
You got UC Saros and Cam Talbot. Then we got the Pacific Division, Leon Draisaitl, Jordan Eberle, Johnny Gaudreau, Adrian Kempe, Connor McDavid, who's the captain, Timo Meier, who had a 5-goal game yesterday, Mark Stone,
scored 5 goals in 2 periods.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Troy Terry, who's the last man in, Alex Pietrangelo, who's the only D, John Gibson, and Thatcher Demko. Do we have any thoughts? Yeah, I mean, I could go over. I have another tab open here with some guy who actually looked at all of the last man like votes, and he actually predicted all 4 of them to get in. But there are some big names who didn't get in. For example, you got guys like Lucas Raymond. It's not a big name, but a lot of people thought he should be in. But Alexander Barkov, Brady Tkachuk, who else? Svechnikov, Barzal. I mean, Zibanejad did get in, I guess, but he didn't. Seth Jones was a big one. For the fact that Nazem Kadri had to be voted in, which was kind of crazy. Roman Josi apparently was a big snub.
I thought he made it. I thought I saw him.
Yeah, he definitely should have been there.
I find it crazy.
Nobody on that list really stands out. Brad Marchand didn't make the list.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What's this? Anyways,
I just look at today.
How? How does that make sense? Brad Marchand didn't make it.
Oh,
Nico Rantanen didn't make it. Who's currently 6th in the league in points? He didn't make it.
That's the problem with putting one person from each team in.
Yes, I agree.
I'm sorry. I love you, Nick Suzuki.
In no world should Nick Suzuki be wearing an All-Star jersey this year.
No,
in no world does he even belong in the conversation.
No.
To be the 2 guys right now that are leading the Vezina votes aren't in the All-Star game. In Jacob Markstrom and Igor Shesterkin. Neither one of them's in the All-Star game.
What the fuck is that?
He's the Rangers goalie.
I don't watch the NHL this year.
Roman
Is a goalie
not in
named Igor?
it. What?
Is a goalie named Igor?
Yeah.
It's a fire name.
He's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That makes you feel.
I find it kind of fucked up that defensemen are obviously going to get snubbed. And the fact that there's some teams with 1 defenseman.
There's 5 guys I want to talk about that made this list. That it's pretty embarrassing the fact that they're actually on this list.
I just want to say one thing: Jack Campbell for Vezina, my boy.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Anyways.
My boy. This guy just said my boy to a Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm gonna be
my boy.
sick. I'm gonna be
Just
sick.
for him to choke in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, Stanley Cup playoffs. Whoa. Okay, Pelech.
Yeah.
Okay, as Pelech, if you look at Pelech, if you watch Pelech play, a lot of people don't know who Pelech is, but watch him play. He's an all-star. Okay, I'll give it to him. He's an all-star. He's a defensive.
But again, that's like
defenseman all-star.
that's the one player per team rule, like in full. Anyway.
Nobody wants to watch Adam Pelech play in the All-Star
Yeah,
game. Not a
I
single
agree.
person. Listen,
I
I'm sorry, Adam
wholeheartedly
Pelech,
agree
but
with
you
you.
don't even want to watch yourself in the All-Star game. It's a defensive defenseman playing in a 3v3 speed tournament.
I'm
That's
sorry,
not-
Adam
yeah.
Pelech.
What?
I didn't know who you were until this moment. If I'm gonna
Adam
be
Pelech,
honest.
Really?
he's disgusting. He's an amazing
He's
defenseman.
got
but
a
he's
great,
defensive
got a
defenseman.
nice extension too. He's a great shutdown guy, but there's no
Nobody
like you
wants
said,
to
there's
watch
no
him.
room for that in a 3-on-3 All-Star game.
Nick Suzuki, like I said, should not be anywhere near the conversation. Jordan Eberle in Seattle, not a chance.
What is
No
this
way.
fucking 2012?
No way should Jordan Eberle be in the All-Star game. Adrian Kempe, you know what? You're having a career year, but your career year is like 28 points. You're in the All-Star game. Like, please. Come on. And obviously a big name that I think shouldn't be there, but I understand why he's there, is Alex Pietrangelo. There's many guys that should have been there ahead of him. Once again, you know, the guys like, I know he's in the Eastern Conference, but one of the guys was at the top of the Norris voting. Aaron Ekblad, not on the list. The guy who's having an actual career year that's destroying everything and just putting up points just as much as Cale Makar is. His teammate, Devon Taves, not on an all-star team. I just don't understand. I don't understand. You get it, like, I know you want to, like, bring in that, like, oh, every team's going to tune in. But no. I'm not going to watch Adam Pelech play hockey in a 3v3 tournament. I'm not. I'm sorry, buddy. You're a great defense, but I'm not going to do it. I can't do it. I'll watch the skills competition. And that's another thing. I'm pretty sure every player needs to be in one skills competition. What is he going to be in?
Hardest shot.
Like harder shot.
I
Yeah.
don't even think he has a hard. His shot's going to be like 89.
He's gonna be in like the relay race,
I just
doing like saucer passes or something.
Bench
He's gonna be in
press.
the shootout. He's gonna be in the
Eberle,
shootout.
I don't know what Eberle's going to be in. Passing probably, but like Kempe, I don't know what you're going to be in, buddy. You don't even belong there.
Dude, the NHL All-Star Weekend is so fire. It's so
It used to
good.
be when the
It's
teams
up there.
decided when people that deserve to be in the All-Star game. I'm sorry, but Brad Marchand finishing third every year in points, and you don't put him in when he's top 10. How? He's like Bergeron isn't even the guy who should be on his team. It's Marchand. He's not there. So they even got some of the people that on their teams wrong.
I don't know what to tell you, Shane. I'm sorry.
I hate All-Star games. Like, it's literally to the point where I don't even like. I hate them.
That's overrated.
What's your
Like, they used to be fun.
favorite like All-Star
NBA.
skills competition? Like,
It's gotta be the NBA. Gotta be
Yeah.
the
I think
NBA.
we talked about this before.
It
no,
used to be
I meant in the
the-
NHL. I meant in the NHL. Like
Oh.
NHL All-Star Weekend.
I like the shootout.
I kind of like the speed. Like the
Listen.
race, you know, with like I don't know. It's always
I miss
McKinnon. Like
I miss how they used to like format the shootout to be like the NBA dunk contest or like
Yeah.
creativity.
Like
I
Ovi
used
dressing
to-
up with the mask, the glasses. And
Yeah.
the hat and all
The
that.
Yeah.
hardest shot used to be my favorite when it was like Weber.
Jay
and
Weber,
Shaw.
yeah.
And now it's like some guy who, yeah, he could rip it from a one-timer, but he can't rip it when the puck is right there. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he wins with like a 95 mile per hour.
literally.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, Pietrangelo might win this year. Oh, no, Ovi's probably going to win with like 103. And second is going to be like Pietrangelo with like 94.
I don't know. Stamkos could get a little speed on there too.
But
Yeah.
I don't
The
know.
Weber Chera showdown and the
Oh.
hardest shot used to be.
Undefeated.
every year.
Remember
Unreal.
when PK went and everybody
Yeah.
was like, oh, he's going to come close. And then he hit like 90. And everybody's like, okay, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But no, I like one of those things, the ones when like Patty Kane, the passing one, when they have to get it over into the little net. I find
Mhm.
that so sick.
Yeah.
You can give me a million tries, I wouldn't hit one of them.
Yeah.
Then
no.
Patty Kane goes for like 3 for 3.
Did Patrick King isn't on it, eh? Right?
Yeah, don't get me started. That's my boy.
Like, it was the Brinkat who made it.
Yeah.
That's the Brinkhead. Which
He's
is fair
nice.
enough. The Brinkhead.
And
deserves
Seth Jones too.
No, Seth Jones.
Yeah.
Seth Jones was he? He
it.
didn't
Seth
make it.
Jones.
Didn't you?
No.
He didn't
Oh,
make
I
it.
thought you.
He-
Oh,
He
he
was
was
there?
had him
Oh
on
my
the list
god, I
of
would have started a
snubs.
war.
yeah,
I
he
was gonna
on the
say
list.
I don't think he should have been there.
You know, he's
No.
having a good year, but come on.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Why don't you
listen,
just
we're
get it
gonna
right?
we're gonna end off this episode here with a little lock of the week in terms of betting. I don't who didn't hit their lock last week.
Wasn't me.
Shaner did not hit his lock. So
Because
Shaner's
the Arizona Coyotes can't score a goal, but then when they play the Habs, they score 18.
Yeah. Well, listen.
I literally needed
Shaner's,
one goal. Colorado won 5-0. I needed one goal. One goal.
Shaner's gonna have to put a little $5 bet on a Bengals Niners parlay. Thank God.
I don't hate it. Yeah, you picked. No,
I'll take the Niners, but the Bengals.
Okay.
I think the Bengals have a better chance of beating
No,
the
but I'm
Titans.
saying I
Niners.
took Tennessee to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Watch, it's literally going to be Cincinnati wins, and then I'm going to be in shambles for everything.
At least we don't have money on the line.
What's gonna happen is is the Bengals are gonna beat the Titans, but the Packers are gonna beat the Niners. So your parlay doesn't hit, and your prediction doesn't hit.
All right, Matt, what do you got?
For consequence, I'm still trying to think here. We could do like I feel like it'd be funny to like bet on like outrageous things, just like
whoever loses their bet has to post a thirst trap on our Instagram.
You gotta do a. Whoever loses gotta do a ALS ice bucket challenge.
Oh man.
Minus 30. Let's go.
Outside in like
outside.
I'll do it.
You know what? You know what? I'm in.
All right. Ice bucket challenge. Ice bucket challenge. Let's go.
It's gonna be brutal.
I'm down.
Did you guys do the ice bucket challenge in New York?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, but I did it in like August when it was like 30 degrees out.
I did it after practice.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I nominated Liam. I'm pretty sure I nominated Liam when everyone was like doing nominations and stuff.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right, so lock of the week
ice
for
bucket challenge on the line. That's crazy.
Yeah.
We're gonna start a
That's
trend.
a terrible fucking idea.
Coldest week of the year.
I'm saying it's crazy as if it wasn't his idea.
Listen, I think we agreed that minus 250 was the most of a lock we could get. So I'm gonna push it here. Minus 235 right now has Aaron Rodgers over 1.5 passing touchdowns, and I'm taking that as my lock.
Done. I'm pushing it even more. Directly at minus 250. I don't want to fucking do this challenge. I got Packers plus 1.5 against the 49ers.
Oh my God.
Packers plus 1.5.
I hope the Niners win by 2 just for you being cocky like that.
All right, well, I was going to go find a cheesy lock here, but I'm just going to stick with my OG one. Titans minus 3.5. I think they're going to blow out the Bengals. Let's see it.
Wow.
You're going to
fucking making me look making me look bad, but it's 2 weeks in a row where I ride with the guy before me, or one of the guys before me anyways. I'm going Titans money line. I don't like the 3.5, but I'll get the money line. You got it at minus 185, so throw a little guap on it.
Give me money line.
All right, let's go. Let's ride.
I'm stressed. I didn't know what the thing was, and I don't want to change it now, and I'm scared. I'm gonna go back to hockey, and the Habs play Vegas on Thursday night.
Whoa, I don't like where this is going already.
Habs money line.
Give me Nick Suzuki 1+ point.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Shut out.
I was gonna go Devontae anytime touchdown, but I don't like that one.
Oh, I'm scared now.
Oh, that is funny.
Oh man,
I'm already nervous. The game's on Thursday.
I'm gonna go to the dep and buy the ice now. Fine.
Oh no,
man,
I'm freaking out already.
Just like that does it, boys.
Yeah, listen, that's 55 episodes.
Crazy.
Well, it's only 54 because you guys never saw.
Yeah, it's true. You never saw 54, but listen, 26 days until everyone's eating some disgusting food. We're at the Wilson LBS Super Bowl bash, eating potato skins because that's just that's our Super Bowl.
When the Rams play the Titans,
no.
You guys are gonna have to enter our.
If it's Rams Titans, the party is canceled.
Yeah.
Bro, if it's Rams Titans, I'm going to the game. Screw that.
Well, that'd be a fucking brutal Super Bowl. Rams Titans.
Why? I think it'd be good. I
Packers,
think that would be such a slow game.
Packers Chiefs.
Nah. Hey,
All
Rob
right.
doesn't go with
Shane,
them.
kiss everyone so we can leave.
All right, gotta go to class anyways.
All right, bye, boys.